guys, I'm here today to share with you one of my favorite books of all time. It's part of a series and it's a teen novel, but the writing and the style and the whole story is just amazing. This is the first and it's called Shadow and Bone and it's by Leigh Bardugo. There's also the second book is called Siege and Storm, and the third book, Ruins and Rising, just came out. I actually haven't had a chance to read it yet because I wanted to reread the first two books in the series again because I raced through them. I first discovered them last November, I think, and they were so amazing. It was such a quick read, and the second book had just come out, and like 2 days after I read the books, or I read the first book and I got the second one from my library, and about 2 days later I found out that Leigh Bardugo is actually going to be speaking in Kansas City, which is about 2 hours away from me. She's actually going to be speaking with some other YA authors, and so I made plans. I took off work, I made plans, and I went to see her, and I was so excited. She is so funny and so real in person, and so if you ever get a chance to see any of her videos online or any of her interviews, I know Goodreads has an interview with her on YouTube. If you just search, there's a few things. So anyway, I just have nothing but great things to say about the book, the author, and just the series as a whole. So let me give you the premise a little bit and then I'll tell you why I love the book so much. It is YA, which I know a lot of people don't like young adult books, but I know there's plenty of adults that do read young adult books, so don't let that stop you. It's fantasy. It's set in a steampunk world, which I always thought I didn't like steampunk because it was just weird or different or not. I don't know what I felt about steampunk, but lately I've been getting more into it. But typically you see steampunk in England, set in England or London, England. But this one takes a different approach where it's actually set in like a Russian style world. It is a fantasy, but it's definitely heavily inspired by Russia in the 1800s, turn of the century time. So there's these things called the Grisha, and that's what the whole series is called. It's called the Grisha trilogy. There's these people called the Grisha, and they have certain powers. Some of them can summon fire, or they can make the wind move in a different way. Some of them integrate some of their power into material to make it stronger. There's just all sorts of different types of Grisha powers. And so it starts out, there's this girl in the army and there's this boy that she likes. Alina is her name and Mal is his name. And they're both in the army, and their country has been at war for years and years and years. They were orphans that kind of bonded at this house where they ended up, and they have just become best friends. They join the army when they're old enough, and that's how the book starts out. And they're going to cross the Fold. The Fold is this part of their world that it's literally like this dark piece cut out of their world. So you have land on this side and land on this side, and there's just like this dark sea is what they call it. It's just completely made of darkness, and this is what they're about to cross, and it's very dangerous because there's these monsters called Volcra that live in the Dark Fold. So right away you get a sense of their world, the war, the desperation of the people, the fear that she has, the ongoing border wars between the North and the South countries, and here she is ready to cross this Dark Fold. And she gets in there, and it's scary because it's completely dark. You go on a sand skiff, but it's completely dark, and the Volcra are ready to attack at the sign of any light. So the Volcra do end up attacking. They start to personally attack Mal, her best friend in the whole world, this guy that she's got this crush on, and all of a sudden there's like a bright burst of light. Well, she goes back to camp. That somehow wakes up, doesn't know where she's at, doesn't know what's happened. Well, it turns out that she is something called a sun summoner. Basically, she doesn't create light, but she pulls light from different sources and she expands it, and she can make the dark fold light up like it's bright. And this is a power that they haven't seen in hundreds and hundreds of years. They're not even sure if this power had existed before Alina shows her powers. And she never knew that she had these powers, even though every child is tested at about age 7 or 8. But somehow, even though she was tested, her powers were hidden, and so she comes to, they bring her to the Dark Lord, and he is the master of all the Grisha, and he is going to help guide her, and he is so excited to have found her that she's a sun summoner, and he takes her back to where the Grisha train, and she starts her training, and then she learns something bad, and there's this whole adventure, and Mal is nowhere to be found, so she's trying to come to terms with her feelings that her best friend in the world has seemingly abandoned her. It's just adventure right from there. So I don't want to give too much away, so I can't tell you like the whole 2/3 of the book after the beginning. But needless to say, this story is really tightly written. The plot, I mean, it just goes super fast. I mean, I read, okay, this is about 350 pages, and I read it in like a day and a half. Granted, this is my second read through, so I knew a lot of it. But it's just, it's amazing, guys. It's, the characters, I completely love them. And she explains the Grisha powers very well. You understand about their powers and the different things that they can do, and the training that they've gone through. You also learn a little about the royal family, about the wars, and then of course it's got the kind of the love story between her and Mal, because she's got this huge crush on him, but she also finds herself falling in love with the Dark Lord because she's not sure. She has feelings for him. He's a very different person. He's obviously the leader of the Grisha, but he's also the most powerful Grisha, and she is kind of like the second most powerful Grisha, even though she's brand new to all of this. So it ties all that together, and it brings the love element in, and she's training, and she can't get her powers to come out. So it's just this awesomely written book. Like I said, even though it's YA, it does not read like a YA book. It's just excellent, guys, and I really, really recommend that you read this one as well as the second one, because they're both equally amazing. And I have to admit, part of my love of this book and this series is because I did get to meet the author. She was such a cool person. I was actually able to ask her a couple of questions whenever they took questions from the audience. So it was just really fun. It was a fun experience for me to get to meet her, but I would definitely say, since her new book just came out, check your local cities and see if she's going to be coming to one of them, because I would definitely go see her again. And I can't wait to read the third book. I still have to reread the second one, and then I will start the third one, but I've already bought it. It's on my iPad ready to go. I just have I really want to reread the second one because I felt like I raced through it so fast I don't remember all the details. But it was so good. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. And let me know what you think of this book, or if you have recommendations for me, I would love to hear them. So thanks so much, and have a great day, guys.